What's it?
I'm gonna put the splits, Chris.
Yeah, I have it on my phone too.
have it?
Oh, you have
Did you
yours?
guys analyze all the data?
I looked at the split times.
Did you analyze? I would have been like, oh no.
It's like, what split times?
What?
No, who showed it to me? Somebody showed it to me, but I didn't analyze it because I felt like
Yeah.
we were just experimenting and seeing what the event was.
Yeah.
Crush it on the sled. Push.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. You guys
65.
were,
We
you
were
were
flying on
like
the Burpees.
top what percentile? Like 65 out of how many people or something?
Uh,
All right, okay, it's
what?
okay. We'll get to it.
Top
Trust
123
me,
for the
guys.
sled.
I was stalking everybody's
Come on.
times. It's like, all right, okay. Okay, so Washington, D.C., HYROX recap. Somebody's phone is vibrating? Oh, it's mine. So we have two teams. We have Chris, Gio, Ryan, Taylor, men's doubles, and we're just going to break down their first HYROX race. Taylor's low energy because he's sick or
Getting
was
over
sick.
the flu, yeah.
Okay. All right, let's start this. Okay, so first thing, how'd you guys feel preparation-wise going into it? Did you feel like we're gonna crush this? Were nerves high? How did you guys feel?
Sure, definitely
Oh,
for me.
really? And have you guys done a fitness race like this before?
First ever for me. Very first. Like I did the 5K with you guys at Paramus, but nothing like compared to HYROX ever. So like I was like really nervous. Like I checked my heart rate, it was like between like 115, 120, like right before I showed Gio. I was so nervous, like yeah. But
What,
yeah.
do you know what your resting heart rate is?
No.
No.
No, just like as soon as I woke up like from like the hotel, I was just like, wow, like this is it. Like
Wow.
we're
Chris,
about to do
his
this.
resting
yeah.
heart rate is probably like 130.
oh, so he's low for that day.
Yeah, he was
He's just
chill.
very, hyped up guy,
Yeah. I was probably the opposite. I was very too calm. I wanted to be more hyped up. But Chris helped me with that. He showed
Okay.
me his heart rate. He was getting me hyped up. So,
Yeah.
It was
so
probably
we're good. We
perfect
balanced each other
combination.
out,
And yeah, me and Gio were the first group to like represent Maven. We were 850.
Yeah, early time.
Oh, okay.
The young guy crowd.
Oh, so what about you guys? What time did you go?
We were in the old guy crowd.
It's the average. So what
it was nice
division
though.
you
I got to
are?
sleep in a little bit.
Yeah.
The division you are is determined by the average of like the youngest and the
It's
oldest.
the oldest.
Oldest.
Oh, it's the
Yeah,
oldest.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
So Ryan with was,
Yeah, so we were
all the
1040?
old guys, huh?
10:40 we were. So we
Yeah.
got take our time, waking up, get breakfast, check in, watch these guys, get a little lay of the land.
Would you rather like watch them or just go? Like, did you like that you started later?
Yeah, I wanted to kind of see how everything was laid out because I know every
They made the
race is
mistakes.
different, and I wanted to see kind of how the format was in terms of where they put the stations, kind of how the equipment was laid out because you see stuff on social media and you kind of get like a good sense of what it looks like, but they have every race set up differently, including the amount of laps that you're doing for your run.
Right. How many laps for 2 laps?
2
laps.
You sure?
Anyways.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that. Okay, so what about fueling beforehand? Did you guys eat? Did you warm up like you said you wanted to warm up? Do all the
We warmed
warm-ups?
up.
We went for a little
Yeah.
run. Yeah, they have like the treadmills and the bike ergs set up for people, and they got like little turf area where you could try the sled and pulling and kettlebell, all
Practicing.
that stuff. So they get SkiErg, they had a rower all set up.
Yeah,
too.
they pretty much had everything there if you were just showing up for your first time that you could practice every station.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was
Well,
nice.
what'd you guys eat or drink? Day before, last meal?
Bad. So me, Wes, and Patrick.
Alfredo sauce.
Yeah. Well, we went to like a couple restaurants before, not the greatest of quality of food, and then we had a couple drinks too as well.
We went like dancing and clubbing tonight.
We weren't
Why
doing
would
all
you
that. We
do
weren't doing all
that?
that. But obviously, that's not what you want going into a race. So, and that's sorry, we weren't
You got
ready.
taken the sights.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we were in DC, you know.
What about you? Were you
I
guys?
had a chicken wrap because before
Wait, morning
before
of
we
or
went
the
out,
day
yeah.
before? The night before?
the night before.
Okay,
yeah.
okay. Chicken
You want
wrap.
to
McDonald's?
No, at the restaurant.
At the restaurant.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
The first
Wanna
restaurant.
Go too crazy, yeah.
Yeah.
What about hydration wise?
Water.
Yeah.
Not enough water because at our hotel they had no water, and if you wanted to get water, it's like $7 per bottle.
Just drink it out of the tap, man.
I'm Yeah.
It's the young generation. They're not used to tap water or hose water.
What about you guys? Did you have breakfast? Is that something you cared about?
I mean,
Or just
I
like-
loaded up on water and electrolytes like probably a day before. So like that race on Sunday. So Saturday I was just like electrolytes, bunch of water. And then morning of I had some eggs, some sausage, some potatoes, a little bit of everything.
Nice.
Continental breakfast.
Yes,
Or
continental
sometimes
breakfast.
free
Yes.
Did you have a Maven shake?
No, I don't usually have much of a breakfast. But I did that morning, and then I suffered during HYROX. I think that was the biggest
You
thing I was
changed
struggling
it.
with. Was I was having pretty bad acid reflux during all the runs, and so that really was an error. But we weren't going hard and crazy, so it wasn't affecting our necessarily our time that way. But it was a little bit of a headache, like just a nuisance. Yeah, during the race. Yeah.
Ryan's done fitness competitions in the past, CrossFit mostly, but
Yep.
I think I saw in your story that you said that the atmosphere was different from
Yeah,
like
it
previous
was-
competitions.
I mean, so I've done a handful of CrossFit competitions, I think like 4 or so. Each one kind of different venues, like some smaller ones, some really big ones, and nothing compared to the size of what the HYROX was. But the energy in the hall was just like different. Like CrossFit competitions, you're kind of just like you have one group going at a time, and it's like usually a small stage, and everyone's kind of just like waiting around, just kind of scoping out. With this one, it was like people were at all different stations. There were spectators surrounding each station. Everyone was like cheering people on, even if you didn't know them. I had a guy in front of us at like multiple stations that was like cheering us on. So it was really cool to see like people, just like the community aspect of HYROX. I know a lot of people talk about like how CrossFit has such a great community aspect, but the HYROX community is really, really strong and growing.
They're like very for you, even if they
Yeah,
don't know you.
exactly.
That's awesome. Do you feel like that helped your performance?
I would say, yeah. For
Yes,
me, like,
for you?
cheering, like, let's go, you got this. Even like the judges, like, they were cheering us on, giving us high fives.
Oh,
Let's
that's
go,
awesome.
I usually just have tunnel vision.
You're like,
So
I don't even care.
I look for like Megan Brooks, and I'm like, all right, I'm good.
I think a good thing to add is at the DC event, the spectator passes were sold out. So on the same
Really?
day, you really couldn't get spectator passes. And
You
so,
have to
yeah.
prepare if you want to spectate.
Yeah.
So New York
Can't imagine New
City,
York City, yeah.
most likely, you need, if you want to spectate, you should get the tickets ahead of time.
It's good to know.
Yeah.
And to add that, I think it was a really well organized event. I thought
yeah.
it was very well for amount of the volume of people, and I mean they were on the second releasing the heats, and just the organization and just how they have all the system down. You could tell it's Germans and Europeans behind it. Yeah, it was pretty
I'd say
sharp.
that's my biggest complaint with a lot of more local CrossFit competitions, is that everything always runs behind. Like
Right.
they say you're going to be there till like 3 o'clock, ends up being 4:30, 5 o'clock. But with this, I was like, okay, your heat's at 10:40. You're going literally at 10:40.
Not Fit Fest. Fit Fest was like snappy. We were getting lunch. We're done.
But yeah, very well organized.
Was there anything that surprised you about like the venue at all, or anything?
It's huge.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
It's
Uh-huh.
huge, yeah.
What about, okay, maybe like, maybe we could just talk about the events, right? So running indoors, what was that like? I mean, it's not like a track. It's not like, what kind of flooring is it?
It's
Is it
flat.
rubber? Is
It
it
was-
like an
It's
office?
concrete, very
It's concrete,
smooth, clean
Okay.
concrete. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I wonder if that's going to be different from venue to venue.
Well, New York's going to be outdoors on a pier, so you're going to be dealing with mostly, I would say, asphalt.
I see. Interesting. That's good to know.
Probably some inclines here and there as well.
No, it's a pier, so it's going to be very flat. I think part of it is indoors, and then I believe the run is mostly outdoors.
Probably the stations mostly indoors.
Yeah, no, I think even some of the stations may. I'm not sure, but I know that they have like almost like a covered area outdoor that's open, but it's got some coverage.
I remember seeing
Yeah.
the pictures of the SkiErgs being out under that little Ramada
Yeah.
thing.
That makes a difference.
Yeah.
What about like crowding wise? Like, did it feel like
There was
you had
areas.
space?
There was areas that were a little
Or
bit crowded.
like, did you have to fight for, like, if you got to the sleds
the
or
lanes
whatever?
and the runs.
Yeah, I'd say the runs, you kind of had to zigzag a little bit. Not everybody followed the fast left, slow right.
Oh, is that a thing?
There's a lane, like
yeah,
you have a lane.
yeah, you
set
have
up.
fast lane, and like your slower people stay to the right.
And then what about staying together? Is that required?
Not on the runs.
Not
No,
on
they
the
said
runs?
1 arm length.
Yeah, on the runs, I
But
saw a lot of people.
they're very loose
Yeah.
loose with that. I'm sure with like the pro division and stuff, it's a little bit more strict, but you're supposed to be 1 arm length.
I thought I've heard that on the runs, it's not even like a judge. Like they don't even bother with that because there's no judges necessarily following you on the run.
Right.
You know, so
You guys have the monitors on your ankles.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you can't get started on the exercise. So I don't know. I feel like it defeats the purpose of flying through the run.
Yeah,
know,
'cause
like,
you
it
have to
doesn't-
wait till both partners are at the
Yeah,
station.
they
to
won't
start.
let you start anyway.
Unless you want the faster runner to get more rest to start the station, right?
Yeah, but then you're tired from the faster run.
That's
so
true.
it's just
So it
like,
doesn't make
you know, you
sense
kind of
to
lose out.
Stay together. How did you guys feel like your running pace together? Was it matched? Did you feel
Hmm.
like it was too easy or just right?
They
Like-
matched up well because I had hamstring issues
That's right.
from that week before.
And I'm the slower runner.
Yeah, a little bit. So I think that really matched up nicely. And so,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, while I'm running stiff-legged, and then later on, you know, I'm all loosened up and ready,
Mm-hmm.
and then Ryan's like, all right, slow down a little bit, you know. So it was good. It was good. Yeah, for DC, it was very good. That thought.
Yeah, for us, I'd say probably right after the burpees, that's when I was like dying on the run.
Burpee is what number station?
4.
Okay.
It's right in the middle.
After the burpees. So
see.
after that, I literally had to put my hands on my knees. I'm like, Chris, give me 10 seconds because I can't breathe right now.
Right.
And so Chris was good. Chris was keeping me going on the run.
What you feel like? I feel like my energy kept going. It went up as the race.
Yeah, because I was looking at our splits. The only running split that we really lost a lot of time on was the last one where I told you to slow down because I knew I had to go wall balls first. I was like, let me catch my breath a little bit. But when I was looking at my whoop data afterwards, like I really didn't spend any time in zone 5 up until the wall balls. So I still had some left in the tank, which is nice to know.
There's
but,
no run after the wall balls.
No, wall balls
Okay.
and then you're done.
And then you're
But I felt like we are at a pretty comfortable pace for what we were doing, 5.5
Yeah, I felt
kilometers.
like looking back, like the wall ball, we could have, I think, done 50-50. Could
Yeah.
have been done with it. Yeah.
Straight 50?
Yeah.
really.
More than 10.
Yeah, we could have done more
Oh,
than
I
10,
saw it
actually.
on the wall balls. They had a counter. That's
Yeah,
so
that was nice.
cool.
Yeah.
And it was
I've never
relatively
seen
accurate
that.
too. I
For
thought
me,
it was
it
very
was
accurate.
annoying because I would go above the sensor and it
Oh
wouldn't
no!
count.
Oh
yeah,
no! Oh no!
that
Oh
was for
no!
me.
That's terrible.
Yeah, so if you had if you were hitting on like the top portion of the target, it wouldn't really register it. But if you were hitting like anywhere towards the center, it would register.
Yeah. They also had the referees or the judges. They had an iPad, so they can take away
No reps.
if you
Yeah.
didn't do if you didn't squat all the way down. And he actually
We
took away
didn't
some of my reps because
see-
I wasn't going as deep apparently. But
Wish I had that other judge.
I know the guy in Ryan's video. I was like, it was
Yeah.
quarter
It was
squats.
both of them too.
Literally.
It was
So-
rough.
Yeah. I mean, I could okay,
It was open
anyway,
division.
Let's just talk
Yeah,
about
it's open
penalties
division.
in general. So you guys,
Let's talk about penalties.
Chris, do you want to take this?
Let's-
or
let's-
I should take it.
Go ahead.
It was my fault then.
So there are penalties in HYROX.
Uh-huh.
If you miss a station, you don't do the correct form, or what else?
Or if you
Miss a
skip a lap in the run. So
2 laps though. How could
no,
you
we didn't
skip
skip
it?
2 laps.
No, you skipped 1, right?
Yeah.
But
didn't
if
skip
there's
2
only, I mean, I could. No, what I'm saying is like
skip 2
I could get it
One
if
and
it's
done.
like 4 laps
Yeah.
and you're like, oh, you did 3 and you thought
Yeah.
you did 4, but 2.
No, but here's the thing. Like, if you think about it, it's actually pretty easy to confuse because
Okay.
the laps are so long. So it's such a big
I see, I
venue.
see.
And when you're making turns, it looks exactly the same
What
because
number
it's
run?
the crown.
It was like
It
after
was-
the burpee
it was,
or
it was
sled pull.
sled push. Yeah.
Sled
after
push?
Yeah.
What's your second run?
Yeah, because they added 9 minutes to our time.
That's bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're
But I know
flying.
a solo guy who missed a lap as well. Yeah, that guy Lewis.
Oh, okay.
So he said he got penalized, but he swears they might have miscounted or the chip made him an error. But it seems like it might be a very common thing.
I'm
yeah.
sure it happens
I
all the time.
was so insistent on that we did 2 laps because Chris was like, no, I don't think we did. I'm like, yes, Chris, we did 2 laps.
I wonder how.
Let's go into the rock zone.
Like,
but
what's a good way to track that? If
Yeah, so
you,
they told us
Time.
in the beginning,
Oh.
like if you see
Time,
the
Mm-hmm.
the in sign twice,
Yeah.
then
You
you're
go on
good.
your second time.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. There's also a big screen up there that says your run.
True. I noticed that on like
After you skip it.
yeah, like way later on.
I don't know if it was counting laps, but it would tell you if you're on a run or a station.
Wait, what do you mean?
They
Like,
give you like real-time updates on this giant screen
and
by
so
the
you
finish
can-
line
Oh, I
Yeah.
see. That's so cool.
on the podium. Yeah, it's really cool. They put
It's
your
very
flag of the
high-tech.
country that you're from, and then your name, and then it tells you at the end. Will tell you your time, and it was just the way that they really set up everything. I thought they did a really good job.
It's pretty high tech.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
But on the negative, I thought even in the open division, I felt like they should have had better judging.
Yeah,
I didn't
mean,
like the wall ball thing. And again, I don't know. Maybe the guy was adaptive. I don't know. If they raced, I don't think they raced with the. I don't think we raced with adaptive. Right?
No, I don't think
It's a
so.
separate day, and so, yeah. But that guy's. It was just horrendous for him. But the
It was
fact that
bad.
he was counting them as okay.
And
I thought-
the judge was literally right there,
Yeah.
Yeah.
watching. What is
And
the
here's
point?
Gio, hitting his butt to the ground,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
he's
you
going
generally
nowhere.
have a
Going low.
very good.
And he wasn't counting. I thought
You
I
got
was
no
fine.
reps?
No, I got no rep to more than a few times.
Wow.
That's
Yeah.
frustrating.
He's like, nope, you got to go lower. I'm like, I'm going.
Yeah, so,
lower.
so
can't
there's
go
subjective error, I think, on the judging part, which is understandable.
It's gonna happen.
But
I think for the most part, most of the stations besides burpees and wall balls are pretty standard, right? Like burpees, I kind of felt like when I saw them, I was like, well, who's gonna like if you land? I'm not even sure like if you land on the line, if that's okay.
No, you have to get your
land-
whole foot across.
Well, from watching videos, I saw. It's like,
Yeah,
oh,
again-
definitely people were landing on the line, but who's gonna watch that?
So
right?
there were a couple of judges walking up and down each length. Maybe
Yeah.
just one judge walking down the length, and then they had a judge at every turn, which is where you're supposed to cross the line. So theoretically, that judge at the line should tell you, hey, you got to go back, do it again, get over, and clear the line.
Like in the box.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I saw one or two people that got called back
Yeah.
for their last rep because they
Saw
either
that.
didn't clear it completely or they're on top of it.
Yeah. I saw a lot of that, and then the quarter squats.
Yeah, again, it's an open
Yeah.
division, so it's
Yeah.
not like super
Yeah, competitive.
heavily scrutinized.
But still,
yeah, I think my OCD, Brandon, it's just like for me, it still bothers me a lot enough to be
Yeah.
like, if I was competing, it would bother me.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think the doubles thing, I don't think we were in that kind of mindset anyway.
No.
So, yeah.
It's
You
more
guys
just a
want to
trial
talk?
run.
Yeah.
You guys want to talk splits or you want to get into that?
before we talk splits, I
Okay.
just wanted to ask one more question. One more question on like the sled push and pull, because I feel like that is going to be different from like whatever surface you're practicing on. In general, we have a tank here, we have the dog sled at Pell Park. Like, which gave you the most real feel? Did it feel heavier, or did it feel lighter, or it felt just about right from going into your training, or like into the, because also the flooring is different from venue to venue too.
So they have the same carpet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
That they
it's
lay
not
out.
it's not even like a turf, it's a carpet.
Did it feel easier?
The
Than the rubber?
sled push felt easier than when we tried it at Powell Park.
Okay.
Not
which is
for
on
Gio.
which is on turf.
Yes, so at that Powell Park we have turf. The sled pull, however, felt harder at the HYROX race. And even in the little practice area that we had, they had the new surface down, so it was the turf that they're going to replace it. So the pull felt super easy, and I was super confident.
Oh.
And we did our second pull, and I was struggling. It definitely felt a lot harder with the pulling.
What do you think, Chris?
That's why I felt the same way too. I saw the video of me pushing the sled. I was too high, so next time I just had to get lower and use more of my legs more. That's why it was a little harder for me. And for the pulls, it was really difficult.
Yeah.
Anything
Just
you
to
would
keep practicing
change,
on
like
that, yeah.
technique wise? Besides that?
I like my technique, which is fully extended.
Oh, okay.
I know they teach you to put your shoulders on it and
And then
put your
hug
weight
it.
over
Yeah.
the sled, but I don't like it
Yeah,
personally.
we tried it during the practice. It
Too
just felt
big.
uncomfortable
Maybe.
for me. Yeah.
What about you guys?
Yeah, I think dimensions matter. So like certain dimensions and certain depending on your weight distribution as well as what I think part of your body is strong and how much there's so many factors to that. So I think it really just, and then also what you practiced.
Yeah.
If it feels awkward, then it feels awkward
What
no matter
about
how.
your shoes? Did you feel like they were coming
Shoes are
off?
perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Puma DVAs were fine. Yeah.
Okay, you guys had new shoes. You had your old shoes. Nice.
I liked
So-
mine.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Good grip. Okay. DV8s were good. On Cloud was good.
Yeah.
Nike whatever was fine.
These
Those, I don't even know what they look so like.
These.
beat up.
Those
Okay.
are in the Hall of Fame
All
right
right.
there.
Okay. So let's talk about splits, shoes. Like,
Okay,
you want to go
splits.
into your runs.
Let's
So
do
the
it.
thing is with the splits, right? Because I find that I think in minutes per mile, not minutes per kilometer. So, like, I can't gauge
Right.
like what's a fast time. But now I feel like I can because I studied all your splits. But like you guys, your average split time was. But
Not
does that
great.
it doesn't account? Does it account for the lap that you did half a run?
They just added 7 minutes. To
Yeah.
Oh, so you still had a fast split with the 7 minutes penalty, right?
No, not really. I mean,
Oh.
so I mean, our best lap, one lap around,
Mm-hmm.
was 2 minutes and 23 seconds, but that's one lap. Our best double lap or 1K
Mm-hmm.
was 5 minutes and 3 seconds. That was our best.
That's pretty good. Do you
It's
know
not
what
that
that is in minutes per mile? No, I think
I
that's
don't know.
pretty good.
We want to get
I
to.
have
I
a
mean, what do you want to get?
conversion.
I want to get to like 4 minutes. That's the goal. I don't know if I'll get that for New York, but
That's fast.
that's fast. I want to get.
So
that.
you said your fastest one was what? 5?
5 minutes 3 seconds. That was our second run,
the average, yeah.
and then our third run was insane, 9 minutes. But that's because the penalty.
So that is okay. So it's 8 minutes. It's just above 8-minute mile. Yeah.
Okay, that
So
sounds
8
right.
minute,
Yeah.
8 minutes 7 seconds for 5:03.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. The cool thing about HYROX is that you can see everybody's splits, how much time they spend in each
Pretty
station,
well.
and then you can compare
Well,
it to like the top athletes. So the top men's doubles athletes, I don't know what age division they're in, but they're doing like just over 3-minute
Yeah.
Ks. So then that's like just under, like what is
They're
it?
somewhere between like 5 and 6
6-minute
minute
mile.
miles. Yeah.
Is it?
Wow.
I mean, if
4?
you're doing
Yeah, it's like just under 5-minute mile. That's so
Good.
fast.
That's really fast.
Dude,
That's so
they're like
fast.
sprinting it. We saw them.
Yeah.
They're right next to us,
Yeah, it's
sprinting
just
right past
And
Yeah,
us.
they're
like-
probably all in your division.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, right? It's like if you're running that pace, then you're running a lot, and you have
Yes.
probably running in your pedigree and all those years and decades of running. And so, like, if we're looking at us, like, we don't run regularly, we don't do marathons on a regular basis. You know, if you're training and you're doing constant marathons competitively, you better be running that pace for 1K.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like perfect example would be like comparison would be like a burpee, right? If you do a lot of burpees, like 30 burpees is not that big of a deal, right? But if you never do burpees, even doing like 8, 10, 5,
Right,
right,
right.
is just death. And so I think it's the same thing with running. Like if you really want to get that time down, then you really have to run not only frequently, but you got to run the distances. And
Yeah,
so
you have to do
I
your
think if you
long
do it,
runs.
naturally your time goes down. I don't think it's that complicated. I don't think it's that difficult necessarily to get into that 4 minute, the number that you're talking about. I think you just have to do it pretty consistently, and you got to do it. You know, you got to do it. Yeah, you got to do a lot of high volume.
Do you feel like the work is in the runs and then the recovery is in the stations?
That's how I
or-
felt.
Or is it vice versa?
Depends too.
I think it depends
Yeah.
on who you are.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how did it feel for you guys? Where was the work being done? Or were you guys recovering on the run?
That's
or
what I
were
was
you
trying to do. Like
you were
that's my
recovering on the
process,
run?
yeah.
Or should you like put a little bit more eggs in your running basket kind of deal? Like
I feel like with the pace that we were running at, it was more recovering on the run and
Maybe a
then
little
just
bit
hammer
more.
the stations.
Maybe a little more, yeah. But yeah, I feel like overall we were pacing ourselves with everything.
Yeah,
you know,
I mean, it
so
helped
we
with
weren't-
doubles too because we split
we weren't
everything
dead on
like
anything, yeah.
50-50.
Yeah.
Soul's gonna be different.
Yeah,
so you guys are all doing solo for
Yeah.
New York
New
City?
York City, yeah.
That's so
Yeah. All
exciting.
four of
Should be
us.
interesting. Should be fun.
I mean, okay, can you mentally wrap your mind around that? Like, I mean, I think the benefit of doing solo is you can pace yourself, right?
That's not a benefit.
In the sense that like you're like when you're doing you go I go, it's like higher intensity with
Yeah.
rest, higher intensity with rest,
Yeah, but
right?
Don't you want that for time?
You
high
do for
intensity,
doubles, right?
right.
But like what you can't sustain that. on
I
a
think
solo,
all
right?
4 of us are gonna get a better time.
Yeah?
Solo.
Solo?
I think all 4 of us. Yeah. I think. Yeah.
He said it.
I think you
We'll
guys are gonna
see.
get a better time. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to get a better time.
Look, we're putting in the work, so
Yeah, have to. Have to.
That's so exciting. You know, we're 7 weeks out from New York City. This is
coming fast.
so
Yeah.
fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was such a short time between DC and New
Yeah.
York. I thought we had a little bit more time, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna start
Yeah.
running more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Is there anything else stats-wise you guys wanted to go over?
Burpee broad jumps.
Yeah, I mean, our burpees were pretty good. I assume you guys were better. But
No,
we got
our
2
burpees
minutes.
were pretty slow because of the hamstring issue. No, you were good. Your broad jumps are pretty crazy. And for me,
burpees.
my broad jumps are like half of his.
So then
minutes,
your
13.
broad jumps, like, were you guys clearing like 2 boxes or
Oh
doing
no,
the
he
bare
was
minimum?
clearing a
17
lot more
seconds.
than 2.
Yeah,
Really?
17 seconds.
17.
So how did you guys
crazy.
split that? Like how
We
many?
did every
burp-
5,
Every
around 5.
Yeah, every 5. Yeah,
Wow.
we pretty much, I mean, we don't really, workouts here and there, we would kind of discuss like, hey, which we should do at the race with this station and that station, but pretty much day of, we're just like, all right, we're going to do this, and just go.
Yeah, I'd say burpees out of all of them, like as a Maven, like that was probably I think the easiest station, at least for us, for me. Yeah, it was just the
Yeah.
easiest station.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you feel like your technique changed day of, or you were doing exactly the same? Like when we do burpee broad jumps here, we're just doing it over the square, but you said he's doing like 3 squares. So like, did you feel like that was taxing for you, changing up your like how far you were jumping, or you were running on adrenaline?
No, I mean, I just tried to get a decent broad jump in, so we take up more distance, so that way, like, pretty much by the time we switch, or by the time we finished the length, it was like time to switch. So we pretty much did 2 lengths each, I would say about maybe a few burpees here or there, give or take.
And I find myself not doing that step 2, getting up. I just do the
Yeah, you just did the hop up.
I find that to be a really just not a very efficient or a like comfortable way to do it because I'm not used to doing that burpee.
Yeah.
It does require some
I've been
flexibility.
kind of mixing in like the hop up, like that you do. But I feel like it just jacks my heart rate up too quick, so I think I might just stick with like the step up, just kind of keep it constant.
Do you does like do you step up with just one leg, or you alternate?
I try and alternate.
Okay,
Yeah.
keep it even. Okay.
Yeah, I try and alternate, but sometimes I forget, and I'm like, all right, let me do the other leg just in
For me,
case.
I realize I'm like when I do the burpee, I always use my left first and
Yeah.
then come up.
How about divvying up? You guys said that you planned out like how you divvied up like the
Yeah.
stations. Like, was it every 250 meters on the ski?
Yes, that's what
Yeah?
me and Ju did.
What about you guys?
We did ski 250 and then rower 500.
Yeah, rower 500.
Okay.
And then you had to practice transitioning, getting in, getting out. Ski is easy, but what about the rower? Anyone
I think
like
we're pretty
fall
fast.
out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I realized he was doing something for me that I didn't know. 'Cause I think he's
He
watched
was-
more HYROX videos.
Yeah.
He was doing the little like thing
Oh, yeah.
before he gets off, so that
So
it's
the
easiest
fan
for me.
kept going.
Yeah, I
tip,
realized
tip,
it
tip.
after. I was like, wow. I don't know why I kept doing that. I was like, why do you keep doing that?
Did you
Tricks
feel
of the trade.
like, you know, the person working, coming off the run, had sufficient rest, or the last person working, like, or it was all pretty much even?
How did you feel, Chris?
Like, whoever goes first or goes last before the runs, did it feel like?
I think the better runner needs to finish the exercise.
Yeah, so
Okay.
that's what we did.
That's
That was
what
our
Okay.
mistake.
That was our mistake.
Really?
Yeah.
Who's the better runner?
Chris is the better
I
runner.
turned into a better runner because of Maven.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Chris is currently the better runner.
I see,
lie.
I see. So then he has to finish the stations, but you guys are going solo,
Yeah.
so.
So
next
I was
time.
finishing stations. So when we started the run, I'm dying.
Yeah.
I
Chris is like,
see.
let's go. Let's
Okay,
go.
that's a really good tip to know.
Yeah, if you're doing doubles, have the better runner finish the station
Yeah.
for sure.
Okay, okay, that's a good tip.
Yeah.
And then now next time we do doubles.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I feel like as the less good runner, I didn't feel like coming into the station I was like dying. Maybe because of the pace that we were at, but I felt like I just hop into it, do my thing, and then switch out and then recover.
Got it. And then going into solos for New York City, can you wrap your mind around doing all the work?
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's gonna be a lot for sure.
it's gonna be double time.
Yeah.
That's it. Same run, just double work.
Yeah.
But I'm up for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the only one I'm really afraid of is the lunges.
Oh, the
Really?
lunges? We haven't talked about the lunges.
I suck at lunges.
Oh, really?
time-
I guess
what'd you
that's
get for
what we're
time?
gonna work on.
What do we get for time? We got 340.
Oh, so you guys wait, hold on.
You guys,
You
we
guys
were
beat us.
really? You guys were flying on
We got
lunges.
345.
What?
Maybe we got like a penalty here because I thought we were flying on here too.
Oh.
345 on the lunges.
Yeah, when I
So
was watching you
it,
guys, you were
like,
flying.
Your quads were dying?
Yeah, that was the point
Yeah.
where I first started feeling like I was getting a cramp. And then it was the last run, so we went at a slower pace before the wall balls. But Yeah, lunges, for some reason, I just always really struggle with that.
I think it's also I realize with you, it might be a balance thing.
Balance, and I think
I
form.
feel like,
I
like I could feel
Too
like
narrow?
Yeah, something about like I feel like you kind of.
Maybe you need to
like,
step out a little bit
Maybe it's the shoes you're
wobbly,
wearing.
instead of step
no,
forward.
I'm always bad at lunges. Like it's always something I struggle with.
And then the other thing I think is that if your conditioning is there, I think the step 2, just don't do that. I think it's better to just step through each one. You know,
Well, I
like lunge
switched.
through.
I don't know if you noticed. I did the walk through lunge when I felt okay, and then when I started cramping, I
Step
just
two.
did the
You
step
have to
2.
do the little tap.
Yeah, I did
Mid-tap.
the little midfoot tap, and then when I switched to him, I got a little time to recover, and then my last length, I did the same thing. I did like the walk through, and then when I started kind of feeling it again, then I just did the little pause.
Okay. So distance-wise, like you had to go back and forth in the lanes that they provided?
Yeah, it's just 4 lengths,
Okay.
so it's
Same thing with the
100
burpees.
meters.
Yeah.
I see. So
Yeah.
then that's your worst station. What about you guys? Worst and best
Our
station
worst?
for everybody. Or individually for your upcoming solos, what you feel like you could
What do you
work
think?
on, what you think is your strength.
I think time-wise it was wall balls.
Yeah, wall balls, we can.
Because of like me missing over their sensor and
Yeah, we were just missing a lot.
yeah.
So we can just do more reps for wall balls. I think. Also, surprisingly, Chris thought the farmer carries were easy.
Yeah. I thought they
Grip-
were, like,
grip-wise,
so late.
Yes, we
Grip
haven't talked
wise, it was
about
easy.
farmer carries at all.
Yeah.
I thought farmer's carry was easier than I thought it was going to be.
The farmer's carry is very easy. I think that one.
That's
it's
a
solo.
very Maven thing.
But
Yeah.
it seemed so much shorter than what we practiced.
Yeah.
So like when I did CrossFit, our farmer carries were so slow and like proper, and like it was like head over your neck, over your shoulders, and like it's like a recovery thing. When we started doing farmer carries here, it was like a run. I'm like, oh my
Yeah.
god,
Yeah.
what is this? So like I feel like
It was probably more for like accessory work, right?
I think so,
Yeah.
yeah. So like when we do farmer carries here, I'm like, oh, it's a race, you
Yes.
know. So like, and we have to like, we're running with dumbbells, running with kettlebells. It's just so crazy.
Yeah, because it's like 200 meters, you got to walk it, right? It's like if you put it down,
Yeah.
it's pretty much that farmer's walk is ruined, I think. Like if you're going for time,
Yeah.
your key is if you're doing solo, you can't put it down.
Man.
Just get through it, and then before your grip goes. And the only way you do that is you got to cut down on the time. So if you walk slower, you're holding it longer, which
More
means
time
you're
under
yeah.
tension.
Just-
And so you have to move fast, I think, with that. And I think if you see the pros doing it, they're literally running it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They are.
yeah.
It's true.
Any like besides your quads, anything like you felt was more taxed aerobically, muscular endurance wise? Like what was something that you feel like you can improve? Was it the cardio? Was it the
Just run.
Yeah,
the
running.
running?
Yeah.
Straight running.
And speaking of the run, I think it's important to point out that it's important to discuss with your partner if you're doing doubles, how you're going to strategize when you're running. Because what I found with Ryan and myself is that, like, running side by side, it's easy. Yeah, we're just kind of there. But then I think at one point we ended up one forward, one
Yeah,
front, one
front,
back.
back.
And I think that's the better way to do it because
Yeah.
you maneuver easier that way.
Yeah, because you can
Yeah,
follow
when we were passing
instead of
people.
looking at them peripherally.
So I think if you
Yeah.
put the slower runner front of you, the faster runner back just for support, and then especially if the slow runner is dying, like you know, to leave them behind, pointless, doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
And so you do that, and then when they feel like they're okay, then I think the fast runner looks back to make sure nobody's there. You can just like driving, and you pass.
Yeah.
And then eventually they're back. You fall back again. I think if you figure out a system like that, I think it works out so much better. It's less just thinking, you know, constantly seeing where your partner is.
Yeah.
And I think it's important to strategize how are you going to position yourself during the run and how are you going to pass people. Because there are a lot of people merging.
Yeah.
You got to also cross lanes to get into the stations. And so there's a lot of, you got to actually have something going on or else one of you is going to get run over by another runner or you're going to get tripped up. You're going to end up tripping each other up.
Yeah, I mean, I tried to stay, if we weren't side by side, I tried to stay on like the backside of one of your shoulders, depending on where we were at in the lap, so that if I had to communicate something to you, it was right there in your ear,
Yeah.
and it wasn't like, you know, trying to turn and look towards you. So I felt like that did okay.
Yeah,
Other
we
than
were
like
okay.
if we were trying to pass somebody and I was already to your left side, and we kind of had to like shift over. a
Yeah,
little
I think
bit
we were
more.
both relatively in control during all the stations and running, so the communication was easy. We're just
Yeah.
talking, right? We're just speaking. But let's say one person is dying, and trying to really like
How can you
power
tell?
through.
Could you tell
Who?
that one or the other person was like suffering or like needing time
For us?
for recovery?
I would say we know each other really well as far as training goes, so we could kind of sense it. But I'm talking
Yeah.
about if you're a partner
But you
and you're
communicated it once at least.
Yeah, I mean,
I would communicate too.
Yeah.
If I felt like my hamstring was going to tweak, I'd be like, hey, I got to slow it down a little bit, my hamstring.
see.
So we were constantly talking.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys talking?
yeah, we were
Communicating?
talking. It was more like, Chris, slow down, please. Give me
What was Chris doing?
Because like I
second.
was just like zoned in, like, and that was
Yeah.
like a deal like behind.
Yeah, I
so
remember
just-
specifically right after like either the row or the burpees. I'm like, Chris, please give me a second.
Yeah.
But no, that was.
Aw.
Chris was
Like,
pushing me though.
Yeah, I was like zoned in like the whole
Yeah.
time, just like feeling like with the runs. Like, sometimes
I'll-
I didn't pay attention. I'd be like, hey, cheers behind me.
Chris thought he was in a solo race for a second.
Oh, so then you guys didn't do this. Like you're
we
the
didn't,
slower
like,
runner, so
yeah.
you could have been running behind Gio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
Okay.
didn't know there was like a real strategy behind
Yeah.
it. We thought like we just had to be side by
I
side the
feel
whole
like
time.
you guys had the strategy. You guys had like I don't know, just the
Nothing.
Just vibes.
YOLO,
the
yeah.
vibes.
Just vibes.
Yeah, I think that was 2 laps. Yeah, let's go.
You sure that was still laps? Yeah.
Yes, it was 2. It was 2.
Yeah, we're pretty fast. We did 2:30. Yeah, let's go.
The only thing I wish that we had were a mixed double to like tell us like what their experience was like. Do you know any takeaways from Bella and Kevin? They had a great time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
they
a
did great.
great
Killed it.
I
time.
tell you what, Bella is a challenge as far as like getting her really into something. Like ever since she ruptured her ACL in 8th grade, it's been a challenge. But man, I saw her evolve during the hour of 20 of HYROX. As I was watching her and filming her every single event, she went from this like scared, super nervous, while we were
Getting
warming up.
goosebumps.
Yeah, she was like really just scared. Like you could tell she was nervous, scared. Like at one point it evolved into like, oh, this is so stupid. Like she started doing that.
Really?
Yeah, and then
During the race?
no, before. And
Oh,
then
I see.
you see her start, and she was warming her area, and then I see them, and then they start, and as the race went on, with every station, with every run, you could tell her confidence was going up. She was getting excited.
She locked
was
in.
like, I could do this. This is awesome. I'm having a fun time. Now she's pushing Kevin on and egging him on.
Really?
And she realized she was, she in mixed doubles. You're the lady, if you're a mixed double, then you're doing the guys' weights, right?
Yeah.
Guys' open weight. And I think that also gave her confidence and the crowd and everything. And then by the end of the race, she was already on the phone looking for New York City tickets,
Oh, really?
which she found. So her and Soph
Yeah,
got
saw
aftermarket tickets, and they're gonna do women's doubles for New
They're
York
going
City.
to crush it.
Is
Yeah.
Christine doing it?
Christine's doing it on a relay.
Okay.
Yeah.
The
So
whole
I-
family. That's so
That's a
exciting.
cool
Yeah.
story.
That's
actually.
Yeah,
super
she-
cool.
Saw her evolve.
She's dialed in.
And
yeah.
also, she and Kevin were on the HYROX Instagram.
Oh,
Yeah.
That
That was
picture
awesome.
was
That was
so
awesome.
Yeah.
like it was so epic. You could see the joy on both
Yeah.
their faces.
And they got a great time. They got I think 123 or
Oh, that's a
122 or
very,
something.
very good time.
Technically, they beat us.
Technically.
Yeah.
Stupid 7
Yeah, no,
minutes.
they definitely beat a handful of the guys pairs.
Yeah.
Yeah, on the time. So and by a good amount. And so I think that really helped boost her confidence too with that.
Do
Yeah.
you know because with mixed doubles, right? Because it is the men's weight that the women are doing. Do you know like how they split the time, like the workload? Did they talk to you guys about that?
I think the main thing you're really splitting is the sled push and pull.
That's
Because
the most
that's
work.
they're gonna the weaker person is really gonna struggle with that. But other than that, I felt like she was
The
solid with it.
row,
Like
the
burpees is
ski,
not
the
it's
burpees,
irrelevant.
wall balls.
Lunges really 44 pounds is not that bad. It's really
Wall
not that
balls
bad.
is
What's the women's
it's,
lunges?
25,
22.
22, 25.
Yeah,
Oh,
22.
What is the men's weight for lunges?
44. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Pro is
That's
like
awesome.
70 or something.
She and Soph are gonna kill it. They're
We'll
gonna
see.
kill
I
it.
just want them to get through without punching each other out. Yeah.
That's so exciting. Yeah. I think it's pretty cool when I see parents and their kids do it.
Yeah.
I told Noah, prepare
Yeah.
yourself.
No, they had a blast. They had so much fun.
Yeah. Okay, last thing. What do we want to talk about? Anything else? I guess like if you guys had one tip, I mean we did talk about some tips for people, but like if you had one piece of advice for our members who are going in to June, we have a much bigger team going into June. Like what would be your one tip? Each of you, feel free to go.
Enjoy the moment, I would
Speak
say.
into the mic.
Oh, sorry. Enjoy the moment. practice on the running. It's a really fun environment, and yeah, that's it.
I'd say don't go out too fast. Like don't get don't let your nerves get you going too fast. I would say pace yourself in the beginning. Don't go too slow, of course, but pace yourself in the beginning, and then find your rhythm and gradually pick it up.
And maybe don't drink the night before.
Yeah, or that, and that. Yeah.
Don't miss a lap.
I would say definitely scope out the venue if you can beforehand, or at the very least, pay attention to the map of the venue that they send you, because it's really gonna vary race to race. So our race is gonna be different than DC when we do New York. So it'd be cool to see what kind of setup they have.
It's kind of fun because people comment that the race is predictable, the same format each time, but with every venue, different cities, it's different.
Like we could be doing 3 laps instead of 2.
And I heard that sometimes it's zigzagging,
Yeah.
So that's
Ooh,
kind
zigzag runs, huh?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I've seen the farmers carry zigzags sometimes
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
instead of just the loop.
I have one more piece of advice. Can I
of. Okay,
share?
yeah.
In the rock zone, try not to walk in the rock zone if you want to get a good
Yeah.
time.
I don't
'Cause
even
that's
know what the
gonna-
rock
so
zone
that's in
is.
between.
It like connects all the stations.
Okay.
Yeah, in between the run and in between the exercise stations, you got the rock zone, and that's still when you're in there, your time is still ticking. So don't get water. I mean, you can get water, but like don't take your time over
Did
there.
you guys get water?
We didn't. We didn't.
We
Did
got
you?
water.
We got water, and but that was going to be my advice because you guys mentioned everything that I think is more a priority. But for me, it was acid reflux was a big issue, and I'm old, so like I can't eat like 4 or 5 hours before an event, exercise event, and so. But with that, what I did was I made the mistake because I was thirsty and I couldn't find the water or what. I grabbed the Gatorade stuff. And it was high sugar, high salt, whatever.
It was really
and
sweet.
I'm not used to drinking that stuff during any exercise, anything. And so by like the 3rd time running or 4th time running, my acid reflux was bad.
You grabbed
Yeah.
it. You grabbed it like twice.
Yeah, and and then after that, I just would like rinse my mouth out and spit it out into the dumpster. But it was like I'd say just be mindful of stuff like that too. I know that you're tired
You
and
wanna-
whatever, but just don't grab anything
Yeah.
and just start. Because at the venue, you got Red Bull everywhere, and then you got that stuff. And so,
Did you take advantage of that? You're all
I was down
caffeinated.
half of it before the start line. I was like, I'm good.
Wait, but did you guys like use the bathroom ahead of time? That kind
Oh
of stuff.
yeah, I went to the bathroom.
Yeah.
It was a long line for the bathroom.
Yeah, if you need to use the restroom, get there early because it's
Yeah.
a long wait.
so if you walk a little bit further down,
I
on
know
the
there was
right,
another
there was an
restroom.
empty bathroom.
Yeah, I
that-
didn't know that.
nobody knew about. Yeah.
Okay, those are key.
Scope out the venue.
It's key.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my big concern because I know that some of the more competitive athletes they'll have gels in their
Yeah,
pockets.
the gel was
Yeah, that's what they
disgusting.
gave us in the beginning.
Oh,
I
it was
almost
disgusting.
threw up because of the gel.
Oh, you guys took the
really?
gels?
Yeah,
I didn't even
I've
see where
never
they
had
were.
it in my life.
Yeah,
So
so-
if you've never had a gel in your life, don't take it while
Yeah.
you're doing HYROX.
Yeah.
You gotta practice
That was
how
nasty.
you fuel.
Yeah.
Don't change
Yeah.
anything race day.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's it. So New York City, 7 weeks. Let's go.